Well, hello friends. It's not often I get both these bikes side by side. Both Hondas, both 1100 cc's or thereabouts, both 4-cylinder, double overhead cam, 4 valve cylinder, but they couldn't be more different. So I thought I'd do a bit of a comparison. The first and most obvious thing is the engine, and we all know the engine is probably the biggest part of a character of the bike. Goes without saying. It should go without saying, but this is the V4, the V65 Sabre, 65 cubic inches or 1100 cc's or thereabouts. Big, powerful V4, 120 horsepower, as opposed to the, if you like, the more classic inline 4 Japanese. Inline 4 started in 1769 with the CB1100F, and then in 82, 83, 84 finished off with these, in my view, the final iteration of that engine being the double overhead cam 1100cc on the F and R bikes, the ultimate improvement, if you will, of that Honda air-cooled engine. Super smooth, although it sits up higher in the frame than the V4. The weight sits up higher. I think it handles beautifully. That engine is turbine smooth. The analogy I use is sometimes like a sewing machine. It's so smooth, as opposed to the V4, which pops along. Very low revving, 6 gears, got an overdrive gears. Loves the motorway, loves cruising at 70 miles an hour, about 2,500 revs. But you open the throttle up and oh my, it will take off. Huge amounts of torque, and 120 horsepower really blows your socks off. But the handling is very different. I think it's the geometry, the frame geometry on the 1100F is different. The forks are shallower rake and shallower in length, as opposed to the longer, more cruisy-like forks and the longer rake on the V65. This 1100F loves to be ridden into corners, out of corners, loves the twisties, nimble, very predictable the way it handles, and really wants you to ride it. This V65, not so nimble, loves a straight line, will frighten you to death on a straight line if you open the throttle up. But it isn't so nimble in the corners. I think that's just the frames. The overall bike weight is heavier. The water cooling adds a bit of weight. So yeah, they do handle very differently, but it's horses for courses. The V65 also has shaft drive. Now, I'm a big lover of shaft drive. I used to have B&W boxer bikes, and I love the low maintenance of the shaft drive. I might just slide over here. So I love the low maintenance. Change the final drive oil twice a year. Once every 2 years. Just don't have to worry about it. No adjustments. Smooth, predictable, like no worries. Chain driven 1100F. I probably prefer it from a sporting point of view. You're more in tune with the road. I think with a chain driven bike, you're more in tune with how the bike's interacting with the road, how it handles. You feel that corner more instinctively, I think, with a chain drive as opposed to a shaft drive. But then the flip side is the adjustments and the lubrication of the chain, etc. What else? Twin shocks on the 1100F. One of the first monoshock Hondas, not the first, but one of the first, certainly road bikes. The 750 version of this was one of the first monoshocks in, I think it was 82. So that's a difference, but yeah, I don't think it really affects the handling too much. Let's have a look at these bikes from a standing point of view. The V65 handlebars are interesting. They pivot here, so they can go forward and they can go from side to side. Don't like them as much as, I like the height of them, but I don't like the kind of geometry as opposed to the flatter bars on the US spec 1100F. These mirrors, these are common on the V1000 bikes, and also this V65 with that diagonal. These are not, these are replacement mirrors, but I've got my originals tucked away safe, but they're also kind of very similar, actually, similar dimensions. What else? I might just fire both these bikes up and let you hear the difference. This is not quite warmed up yet, but you'll get a sense. I love that sound. So classic inline 4 sound. Compare and contrast to the V4. Little bit of choke. I almost bet my life this will start first time. There you go. I didn't say that because I already started it a few seconds ago. It just starts first time almost every time. So pop, pop, pop. You can't feel the vibrations like I can, but that V4 just kind of reverberates in a way different way than inline 4 does. I think it's just the firing sequence, the configuration of the cylinders and the pipes, the way it's tuned. I can't tell you how different it is to hear, to feel, and to ride compared to the 1100F. I've actually got a 1,000 kilometre ride coming up in a couple of months on the V65, so we're very interested to compare that over a long weekend, how it feels when I get back compared to, I did a 1,000k ride on this one a few months ago, so I'm going to have a really good comparison. So that's it. It wasn't a detailed kind of hands-on video. You don't often see these two classics side by side. 1983, one of my favourite bikes of all time, the 1100F. Just looks, rides, sounds beautiful compared to really the muscle bike. It's a muscle bike. You almost need muscles and tattoos. And I say that tongue in cheek to ride these big V4 bikes. They don't handle like the inline 4. They're big and heavy and brutish, but if you accept that's their characteristic, you can have a lot of enjoyment out of these bikes. They really do. They reward you if you treat them like a big, heavy muscle bike, and they'll reward you. Just as the 1100F will reward you if you treat it like a big, powerful bike that wants to be ridden, hard into corners, hard out of corners, and it will reward you if you treat it that way. Okay, that's my quick unscripted walk around. Hope you enjoyed it.